Hi, Rosie. What are you reading?
Hello, Scott. It's a book all about timekeeping. I know that might sound a little dull, but it's really not. This morning I had a lecture about sundials and solar time. It was so fascinating that I came straight to the library to find a book and learn a little more about it. I'm a bit disappointed that I can't borrow the book, so I'm staying here to read it. Did you know that the time on a sundial doesn't always match the time on our clocks or watches?
Really? No, I didn't know that. I thought that sundials were a pretty accurate way of telling the time.
Well, they can be, but sundials show us the true solar time, not the time that we use on our watches. In fact, there can be a difference of up to 16 minutes between them. Sundials tell us the time based on the sun's position in the sky, if the weather is good enough to see it, of course. This is called true solar time. For example, solar noon is when the sun is directly up above us and at its highest point in the sky. However, this may not correspond to 12 o'clock noon on our watches.
Why is that, though?
Well, one reason is that for us, there are exactly 24 hours in a day. But in reality, it doesn't take exactly 24 hours for the Earth to spin once on its axis. It's often a little more than 24 hours, but the time taken varies throughout the year, depending on the direction the axis is tilting. But we don't account for that during our timekeeping.
Oh, well, that is very interesting. So why do we use a different time then?
Simply because it's easier for us, really, and helps us organize our lives. The way we measure time now was set back in 1884 at the International Meridian Conference. At the conference, they defined universal time, UT, and established different time zones. Various adjustments were made over the years, but then in 1972, leap seconds were introduced to help to keep our clocks as close to the true solar time as possible.
Wow, I didn't realize how interesting the subject is. When you first mentioned timekeeping, it seemed a bit difficult to understand, but I've actually learnt a lot while talking to you about it. In fact, maybe I should read that book when you've finished too.